I'm Tom, and let's have a quick conversation about the Magnificent Seven card that's been announced for January 24th. What a fantastic card. I believe it's not even pay-per-view, which is really surprising because that's a card that I think, especially with what we've been seeing recently, is worthy of being pay-per-view. I'm so glad it's not, because pay-per-views are killing the sport. And we were told there wouldn't be pay-per-views, but there are. It's not. It's not pay-per-view. And January 24th, Magnificent Seven, fantastic card, headlined by Moses Atalma versus Jermaine Franklin. I'm going to be there. I have got my tickets. If you're there, drop me a message, DM me over on Instagram, something like that. And I'd love to come and meet you, say hi, get a photo, something like that. Let me know. Anyway, let's talk about this card. It's headlined by Moses Atalma versus Jermaine Franklin. That's a very good fight. It's a very good fight for a few different reasons. And what it is very, very good matchmaking, yet again, by Frank Warren. He's a master matchmaker. There's no denying that. The Dillian White fight was one example of that. And this fight saw another example of that. Because Jermaine Franklin is someone that we know in the boxing community as the guy who went the distance with Dillian White, lost the fight, but a lot of people, myself included, think he won the fight. And then he went the distance with Anthony Joshua. There's context in both of those fights. Number one, to be fair, the Dillian White fight's just fair enough, actually. But Dillian White, we know, since has been on the slide. The AJ one was coming off the back of 2 defeats to Alexander Usyk. We know how great that was. His confidence was gone. He said he wanted to get 12 rounds in the bank when the distance. Caused AJ a couple of issues, nothing crazy. But that's what we know him for. Since then, firstly, that was years ago. Since then, I think he's only fought once. I think this is his second fight since the AJ fight, which was back in, 2021, 2022? I think it was 2022. A very long time. And since then, he's fought once, and he looked awful. He looked really bad. Like, that was a fight that arguably, he won, but arguably he lost. A fight that was given to him that he probably didn't win. Just like when he fought Dillian White, was given to Dillian White that he probably didn't win. He probably beat Dillian White. That's what we're talking about here. That's why it's fantastic matchmaking, because it's somebody that AJ couldn't put down. It's somebody that Dillian White couldn't put down. It's someone that neither of them got out of there, within the distance of both of them. So if Atalma can get him out of there, suddenly it's very impressive. But we know when we look further into it, he's only fought once since. He looked very poor in that fight. AJ was fighting some demons. Dillian White was on the slide. You kind of look at it going, no one's going to think that. They're just going to look at it and go, AJ couldn't get him out of there. If Dillian White, if Moses Atalma does, people will start saying Atalma's ready to beat. People are already saying it, and they will certainly start saying he's ready to beat AJ. Atalma's ready to beat AJ. He's in there now. It's fantastic matchmaking. It exposes him to a bit more of an American audience with the American name. It's a fantastic fight, and one that I expect Atalma to win. Now I say that, but I do think Franklin will give him rounds. I think Atalma will stop him. I just think Atalma has a way of getting to most people, and the confidence he's on, yeah. But I do think he'll give him a few rounds. I don't think he'll trouble Atalma. I also think stylistically, Franklin's got a great style for Atalma, much like Balogun. He's obviously a level above Balogun, but I think he's got a fantastic style for Atalma, like Balogun did. I think it's a great style for Atalma. I expect Atalma to get a stoppage, but I don't think it will happen inside 3 rounds. I think he's going to get a couple more rounds out of this. Not necessarily deep. I don't think he'll get dragged deep, but I think he'll get a few more rounds. 5, 6, maybe 7. And that's ultimately what you want to see from Atalma. You want to see how he fares when he gets into the rounds. I don't want to see him troubled. I don't want to see him hurt just yet. At some point, yeah. I don't think this will be the fight where he gets. I don't think Franklin's got power. But I want to see how Atalma fares when he gets into the latter phases. When he's in rounds 5, 6, 7, 8, how does he look? How is his gas tank? Is he still just as strong? How does his power hold up? That's what I want to see. I don't want to see him get cracked just yet, but how do you fare in the later stages of fights? And I expect Franklin to be able to show a bit of that. Not pose too many problems, not pose too many threats, but drag Atalma into the second half of the fight. Long and short of it, Franklin's not done. He's not washed up. He's a good fighter. So, yeah, I like it. A very good fight. And, looking down the card, the rest of it, it's all stacked. Hutchinson versus Taylor. 2 top 10 guys having a rematch, bit of needle between them. It's a great fight. I think that'd be a very good fight. That's half the reason why I'm getting tickets, I think stacked. It's not one of those ones where you think, that could be boring, that could be boring. No. Good fights across the card. Hutchinson versus Taylor 2, fantastic fight. Bit of needle between them. 2 top 10 guys. Great fight. Franklin versus Atama, two great guys. I think off the back of this, going into 2026, Atama needs to be active. He needs to be way more active. He just isn't active enough. And off the back of this, regardless of the outcome, he needs to be more active. And I expect Atama to win. I expect him to win relatively unfazed. I think styles make fights. Stylistically, this is great for him. Mid to late stoppage. And then let's be active off the back of that. People don't know your thoughts on all this in the comment section down below. As I say, if you're going to be there, let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and our stuff works, people. Peace.